What is going on, ladies? This is Marcia here with another episode of the Ladystrong Fitcast. And today I have March member of the month, Patti Stevens. Patti and we're going to be talking about her results since joining the semi-private.
So the big question is this. How were two women who didn't cheat and purchase a gym franchise model, how were they able to spread their mission and purpose by empowering and transforming hundreds of women's lives through fitness, nutrition, mindset, and accountability with a micro gym business model of women only? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answer. We are Ladystrong Fitness.
Patti, how are you today?
I'm doing well.
Very good. So I'd like to start off by talking about you. I know who you are, but for everybody that's tuning in today, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm a mom with two children. They're in their 20s. My son's 22, Max, and my daughter, who is in Lady Strong, is 25. Married, and I am an entrepreneur. I own my own travel agency that is 4 years old now. So next year I'll be 5 years owner. So I'm excited.
I love that. So I'd like to talk about how you started, which is very unique. And here's why. Not everybody can say they started where you did. You actually started with us during quarantine.
Yes.
We weren't in the brick and mortar due to the restrictions. However, you joined us virtually due to a mutual friend who referred you, which was shout out to Maureen, aka Mo Hawkinson. Tell us about that, because for most, that was probably one of the hardest times of the year for you to join a fitness program. So let's start there. Why did you decide to join, and tell us about that?
So for me, the world, of course, was going crazy, and being in travel, everything stopped. And so I was a manager at the time, and we laid off everybody. So, and I had already been talking to the previous owner about purchasing the company.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't just let all the customers fall apart.
Yeah.
So I worked 10 to 12 hours every day trying to take care of all the customers.
Oh, wow.
And mentally, it was just draining. People were sitting at home, and I'm like, I did not have that opportunity.
Yeah.
And then Mo was talking about, people are working out. She told me about Lady Strong, and I'm like, you know what? This is what I need. I needed it just to have my own space, my own time.
For sure.
And I started doing the virtuals, and it was wonderful. It was exactly what I needed. I like to lift weights, but I never really knew how to. I liked the different equipment. So we use the smash balls, which I purchased a smash ball on Amazon. We're using bands. We were using weights. So I was buying weights, and I didn't really have a box to jump on, but I was working in my front room, and there was a staircase. So that was my box.
Yeah.
So, Tiffany was our coach at the time, and she was talking about laundry detergents, cans, anything until you got your own weights. So it was perfect. I was so excited. I loved it so much. I was so excited when you guys were starting to open.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really nervous. I remember sitting in the parking lot going, okay, I hope this is really clean and everything, the space is what they're saying it's going to be. And it was, and Mo was like, you went in? I'm like, it was perfect. It was exactly even still to this day, everything is always immaculate, which is, kudos to you, because I've gone to other gyms and I'm like, oh God, I just can't stay anymore. Cause it's disgusting. I'm used to this prim and proper, and everything is beautiful. So that's how I started.
That's great. So fast forwarding, you've now been a member for 5 years, which is amazing. Total squirrel, but I'm really excited for you. I think tomorrow, are you coming tomorrow okay. So I don't want to give away too much, but we have something we would like to honor our veteran members on. But with that being said, since joining Lady Strong, a lot has changed. We've evolved over the years, as you could tell. We've added additional services, one of which being the semi-private, and you're now taking advantage of that. And over the last 6 weeks, you've gotten astonishing results, in my personal opinion, in such a short span of time. So let's talk about that. What led to those results? Why did you decide to take advantage of the semi-private? Well, let's talk about all of that.
So I decided to take the semi-private because I wasn't seeing results in the group training. Mm-hmm. And really, it's more probably because of my age. Cortisone levels are higher. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, and plus I sort of always liked lifting weights, but I didn't really know how to. So I took advantage of it, and I went in. I was excited about. Brittany was like, Patti, I think this is the perfect thing. Just go and do it.
So,
And I did.
I love that.
And I love it. I mean, I would tell anyone, sign up, do it now. I mean, it's great.
I love that. What do you see the biggest difference from transitioning from the group to the semi-private for maybe someone who's on the fence or maybe considering like what has that been for you?
I have to say, I do miss some of the group classes because of the cardio um pieces of it, because you don't get that from the semi-private. But
Mhm.
with the semi-private, it's more controlled.
Mhm.
I love that even though in the group classes they can check on your form, this is there's only 4 people there. Sometimes there's only 3 people. It's really one-on-one.
For sure.
So you can, and they'll push you. I was afraid to go strong heavier at times because I wasn't sure I could do it,
Yeah.
or I would hurt myself. And so it's like, well, just give it a try, like just that little bit. If you can't lift it, if it hurts, then we're going to go lighter
Yeah.
and we'll work our way up there.
Yeah.
We got little weights to add on
Yep.
to the waist clips so that it wasn't a 5-pound increment. It was a 1.25-pound increment.
Yep.
And that was huge to get us to the next level.
I love that.
But it's really the training. And then the girls there, everybody roots. You can do it. Come on, just give it
Yeah.
a try. You're
Yeah.
pushing each other a little bit further.
Yeah. I think the biggest for me, just based on my observations of seeing you guys, is just the change of pace and being able to really focus on your movement patterns and
Yes.
being able to make sure you're lifting properly in order to, lift heavier. And that's, I think, the biggest reason why you've gotten the results that you have. And let's talk about that in 6 weeks. Please share, what was your in-body scan like, your compensation of your body?
I don't remember the actual results. I don't have that in front of me, but I definitely went up in muscle and down in fat, which that's what I don't remember the actual numbers.
I have Ella here right now. And I think it's important for people to understand like how much progress you can make in such a short span of time. And what's really cool while I was pulling those numbers up, Patty, is that not only did you do it, but your daughter Sarah did it as well. So if
Yeah.
your daughter's watching this, shout out to Sarah as well. It was like, it's really cool because I know you guys do it together and it's almost like a competitive.
We are. We're a little bit competitive. She's got stronger legs. I have stronger arms. So we keep trying to push each other a little bit more.
Yeah, that's amazing. Another thing too that I want to put a lot of emphasis around is, you've gotten the results that you have in 6 weeks. What is your next 6 weeks? Like, what is next for Patty in the future?
Well, I definitely always want to lift heavier. But I do notice that I did have some mobility issues, and you gave me an app, and that made a huge difference in strengthening my legs.
Yes.
Because as I had more flexibility and mobility, I can add on more weight.
100%. I'm so glad that you brought that up. And here's why. You're actually going to be the first to know this, and we're announcing it here shortly. We're adding an additional service for you guys in the semi-private at no cost. It's an FMS test, a functional movement screening test. And the reason why I decided to implement this is because of you, because there's women that have certain restrictions to what they can and cannot do. And for someone that was, struggling to squat, such as yourself, it's
Yep.
like, what do I do? How can I get better because of my hips? And when I advised for you to take advantage of that application, immediately within 30 days, you were able to increase your range of motion, which allowed you to lift heavier. So when I found that out, I'm like, oh my God, we have to do something differently for these women. And by incorporating this test, Patty, it lets every single person know what they're limited in, if it's their shoulders, if it's their hips, if
Mhm.
it's their ankles. And then once we find out what those limitations are, we're then able to improve upon it by working on different techniques for the cool downs, which we're also incorporating into the semi-private. So if you're listening to this and you're like the person that has the bad back pain or the knee pain, this is something that is only available right now. We're going to launch it in the semi-private immediately. So, and it's all because of you, Patty, because I said we have to be able to help not just you, more people.
Right.
And I think,
Well, I didn't know.
yeah,
You don't know.
exactly. You
And
don't
the
know what
app
you
was,
don't
I
know.
mean, just even lifting it changes your whole form if you
100%.
have the mobility to do it.
Yes, 100%. So that's something that we are going to have Christian do with every single person, again, at no cost. And the test takes less than 10 minutes, as you very well know, because you did it yourself. But the thing is like, okay, it's great. Now, how do we improve upon it? And we're going to reevaluate to see what you've done. Ella was able to pull up your numbers, and within the 6 weeks, you put on 1.3 pounds of muscle and almost, not quite, but almost 1% body fat. And that's amazing. So can you imagine, just fast forward, if you were able to continue at the same momentum, like what the next 3 to 6 months will look like?
Oh, yep.
So what do you think outside of the lifting portion? Is there something that you're doing that maybe you want to share with the audience that's tuning in today outside of the gym that helped with this?
So the one is I have a mobility app that I'm using.
Yep.
The other thing is I have a walking pad that I needed to get some more cardio in. So my goal is 10 minutes every morning, or at least 10 minutes after each meal, to just get some walking in, because my time and everything that I do within the day it's so packed that I have to figure out a way to get more walking in.
Sure. That makes sense. So again,
And prepping my
yeah.
meals.
Prepping meals, love it. So it's one of those things, ladies, you don't know what you don't know. And please ask Patti, ask Coach Christian, Coach Allison, and, take advantage of that complimentary session that you have. I think it's a game changer. And I think you're a testament to that. And congratulations. And I'm really excited for what the next several months will look like. There's one thing I also want to put a lot of emphasis on after reading your bio. I love that you have no excuses with your traveling. It says that you were able to, even though, they only have like minimal equipment. What's nice is that you were still able to do your exercises outside of the gym because you had access to that app, with all of your exercises. So I think it's important for people to understand it's not even what you're getting inside the gym, it's also what you're able to do outside of the gym. And I love that you have no excuses. You're a mom, you're an entrepreneur, you travel, and you're still managing to get results, take care of yourself, put yourself first. So congratulations.
Yeah.
Yes. So I like to end each episode, Patti, by asking you if you had to give any advice. This is a two-part question for either someone that's on the fence about joining Ladystrong. What would your advice be? And then maybe for someone that is currently a member here, but they're stuck and they're wanting to kind of get to that next level and break the threshold, maybe plateauing, what would your advice be for them? So two-part question.
So the first part of bringing people in, it's like, stop thinking about it. Just do it. This is the best program company I have ever been with in my entire life. And I'm doing it for 5 years. I've never done anything consistently that I've done with you guys.
I love that.
Never. I kept trying to figure out, like, and I was in gymnastics. Even when I was in gymnastics, I wasn't as consistent as I am with you guys. So
I love that. So that's for someone that's on the fence. What about the other side of it?
So on the other side, those that are, maybe you're at a plateau, the biggest thing is do not give up on yourself. There are people there, they have a lot of information, and reaching out to anybody, like you said, reaching out to the coaches, reaching out to Ella and, I just went blank, Jess and all them. They're there to help you, to move you forward. Plus, you guys have so much. Yeah, there's a nutrition program. You need to really learn about it. Ask somebody to give you that information and just take baby steps. Every little step in creating that habit will help push you along. And I was never 100% perfect. So you're going to fall off, the horse once in a while. Just pat yourself on the back, get yourself back up and move forward. You can't keep whining about it. Only you can make that change.
Sure, 100%. That's great advice. Let's drop the mic right there. I like to end it. That was very good advice that you gave, Patti. I really do appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule. And ladies, thank you so much for attending another episode of the Ladystrong Fitcast. Have an amazing day, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Take care, guys. Bye.
Thanks for joining us today. If you like this episode, subscribe to our YouTube channel or find our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or whatever your favorite place is to listen to podcasts. And if you really liked this episode, please leave a review for us on iTunes. Thanks, and we'll see you next week.